Hey, YouTube, what's up? Got some more photos to share with you. Also, some analysis from the last couple outings. I believe what I've captured underneath the sun, the orange orb, is in fact a lens flare. It's a tricky lens flare, but a lens flare nonetheless. And let me share my ideas with that on that with you. I don't know if you could see right here. We have a flare which is clearly on the foreground of the photograph. The difference between that flare and what appeared to be a real object in the past was that the flares of the past would be behind the trees and behind the clouds, which certainly gave it every appearance of realistic appearance of a real object. What I did last outing is I went out and upped the f-stop. As you can see here, it's at f51. And once I did that, the flares began to appear in the foreground. I would assume, and I haven't tested it, if I drop this down to f 5.6 or whatever, it would be larger and it would be fainter, but it would give the appearance of being behind the trees and the clouds. So I'm going to rule the last couple outings lens flare, at least for the primary object. There were some orbitals that did appear that were very questionable, that seemed to have movement, rotation, et cetera, et cetera. So, given that, I want to begin to focus on other areas around the sun. Does it mean Planet X doesn't exist? No, I believe it does. I believe I have pretty good evidence that it does from previous outings, specifically back in April and May. So, it's important, though. It's important that we distinguish between lens flares, which can be extremely tricky. These flares, the previous flares didn't even show up in the viewfinder. They didn't show up until I applied filters, which even made it that much more convincing. So just playing around with the f-stop can render quite a bit different results with flares. So if you're not sure, go ahead and start moving that f-stop around, to maximum and minimum settings and see what you get. So let me go into Photoshop here. Now, I do know how my camera works. I mean, I've been taking quite a few pictures with it, specifically at sunset and around sunset. So, there's certainly nothing wrong with the camera. It does, however, on days pick up very strange anomalies under the sun, things that I can't explain. But some of the work I've done in the past, clearly I know how the camera operates. It's fine. It doesn't have any problems. And by the way, to get these kind of results, you'll never get them with a point-and-shoot camera. You'll never get it with a digital SLR set in aperture mode or shutter mode or program mode. You're gonna have to go to manual mode and dial that thing in, play with it a little bit to get these kind of results at sunset. So let me just rifle through a few more. Scroll down this way here. So here's a result. That is Planet X. That is an intruder planet. There is zero doubt in my mind. I watch it rise after sunset. That's if the sun is nowhere in this picture. The sun on this given day is down. It's nowhere to be found. And when the sun went down, lo and behold, this is what I was staring at. This object here and a collection of objects over here. Do I believe that it's real, that it's out there? Absolutely. That's why I say 99.9% sure. Is it easy? Is it easy to catch? Is it easy to hunt? Heck no. Odds are, you're going to miss it 9 out of 10 times. But that's the real deal right there. That's what keeps me hunting. I know what I saw with my eyes. I know what the camera captured. So, very little doubt. And there she is again, hiding behind that cloud right there. Sun is down in that picture. Sun is set. And when you see orange like this, you rest assured that Nibiru, Planet X, worm, whatever you want to call it, is somewhere nearby, because that orange is the telltale. And there's that triple cloudlet right there. Now, X is probably down here somewhere. Can't really say for sure because it looks like some chemtrailing took place on the horizon like they like to do. But, so, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind there's something out there. So, anyway, I got a new toy. I got a Panasonic Lumix camera, but it's been retrofitted for infrared, so it's kind of cool. It's point and shoot with the infrared adjustment. It's a little, I think it was a little over $200. So, I just went around and, practiced with it, took some shots. You could see, you point that baby at the sun, you get quite a few flares. But when I started looking at the results, I had a number of photos come back with this little starlet up here, and I was wondering what that was. So I started to zero in on that area of the sky quite a bit more, only because, when on different days at the same location, I start getting identical results, I go back and tend to target that area. So, and what I think is that this little blue dot or whatever it is actually part of a larger object. So here it is again, the Lumix camera with the infrared, and this was a different day, different location, and there's that starlet again. But this time you got a little bit of a rim where that starlet appears. So I found that pretty interesting. That's about, I think it was about 720. Because I don't have, this is in Photoshop here, not in Lightroom. I don't get the date and time stamp. But I'd say it's about 720. Got a couple of circulars here. And that guy, and then potentially one over there. Sun's down here. This is a different location yet again, different day. And here we go, different filter, so it's the starlet part's not bright, but it's right here, and then this is way more defined right here. And as I said, where that starlet appeared, it seemed to be the edge of a larger object, which we can clearly see here. And this is it with a different filter, and you kind of get a better glimpse of the star piece right here. Kind of seems to have 3 layers to it, and maybe a little tail behind it. I'll just keep going through here. Let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, here it's a pretty good shot. This is a pretty good example with this filter. So there's a starlet, and there's the edge of the unknown. Nibiru, Planet X, Wormwood, Blue Star Kachina, Red Star, I don't know. You got to call it, you got to give it some kind of a name. If it's out there, it's showing up on the camera, you got to name it. Call it what you want. I'd like maybe the Big Bongo, how's that? But there definitely seems to be something there. Here it is again. Very high on the horizon. Very, very. It's up there. It's I'd have to get Stellarium and map the date and time to get a better idea of maybe what constellation that might be showing up in. Give you guys a better idea where you can point your cameras. And this is one, here's my thumb, that's the sun back there. I don't know how well you can make it out, but I see something right there with 1, 2, 3 bands in a circle. And again, this is all the Lumix camera outfitted with the infrared filter on it. Okay, now, so yeah, somebody on YouTube wanted me to put my finger or thumb or block out the sun. So this is it. I mean, this is the example of that's my thumb right there over the sun, and this is what was returned. Okay, so the sun's blocked down here. That's my thumb. This is not a duplicate of my thumb. I mean, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a bunch of circles and spheres on this thing. You got horizontal lines. And that was, I think when I checked this, it was almost exactly 7:22 Central Time when that popped up. And it only popped up on a few frames. There it is again. This is a different frame. This is my thumb, blocking out the sun pretty good. And you could see the orbs changed. Went from those little guys there to a couple little guys there and a larger one there. There's my thumb. Let me zoom out. There's my thumb right here, and then there's part of the unknown object escaping the frame up there. Here it is again, different filter. I didn't block the sun on this one, but you can clearly see something behind the tree line here, this guy right here. And he might be off tilt here, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say with the pixelization of the filter. Here it is again behind the tree. Different shot. And this was pretty well after sunset. I'm getting a different kind of heat color signature here. I mean, that to me shouldn't be there on other pictures. It's it's basically what you see here and here. You don't get this smatter effect or whatever that is. It almost looks like a collage effect. So that's it. I think you can tell me what you think about the thumb covering the sun and the result, but that's what happened on these photos. So next outing, what I'll do is I'm going to continue to focus above the sun, only because when I did see Planet X back in April and photographed it, it was south of the sun, and it came up after sunset. Now I don't claim to have any knowledge of how this thing orbits, what it does, what it is. I mean, I have enclosed the possibility of this being some, extraterrestrial, massive space object. I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows. The fact is, I've done enough photographic research to convince me that there's something out there. Again, I'm 99% sure about that. But the photography is, in my opinion, the icing on the cake. I mean, we have Earth changes. I mean, there's a long list of them. I mean, there's sinkholes. There's the lowering of the cloud base. There's pole shifting, magnetic problems. The whole solar system's heating up, and on and on and on, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, that's the true evidence. I think the final evidence is the photographic evidence. And if you get it, great. If you don't, that's okay. I mean, there's still plenty of other physical evidence to say that we have an interplanetary visitor. Okay, and gosh, when I look at photos like this, what can I say? I mean, what can I say? What is this? What is this? Somebody want to explain to me? Now, the sun's covered. There's a little, thumb or finger over the sun trick, and this is what I get back. And it's not the same from one frame to the next. Anyway, I'll continue to look at this. I thought those were pretty interesting results for the first time out with the Lumix infrared camera. Maybe the infrared makes the difference. It's a cold object. It's a dark object. The infrared is maybe sensitive enough just to pick up its light/heat signature. I don't know. Anyway, those are the results, unaltered. The only thing that were added were some filters, for contrast and so forth and so on. So anyway, last outing under the sun, I believe it was a lens flare. I'm pretty sure about that. This, not a lens flare, I don't think. I don't know. I don't want to jump the gun too early, but I don't believe that's a lens flare. Okay, it just doesn't look like a lens flare, and the fact that the sun is blocked, I doubt it. And this certainly wasn't a lens flare. Lens flares don't occur after sunset. They don't. Okay, the sun's there. There's no reason for me to create a flare when I have the ability, right? I have the ability to take photos directly into the sun without any flare. Okay, and that ability, is proven time and time again over many months. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll let you guys off the hook, and I'll continue to work with that infrared camera, see what results I can get, and see if I could match those results to Stellarium to at least give you a constellation to look at. Until then, over and out.